Lo va a conseguir, pues entonces, oye, tiene que ponerle presión. Entrale, córtale el ring, bájate con él, hazlo trabajar.
We need to put pressure on him. We need to work. Make him work. Put pressure on him. You're fast when you get going.
You can't hit this guy with one shot.
Do you understand?
You cannot beat him like that, Papa. Not with one shot.
Invent things. Let's go. Let's get going.
Do not let him take control of it. The kids are here. Do not let him take control of this fight. You understand? Oh, you right. Do it for your kids, baby. Do it for your kids. All about it. It's all for Kyrie, baby. Come on for Elijah. Let's do it.
The 9th round here in Carson, California, and this is the WBA Super Welterweight World Championship. 12 rounds. The champion is Austin Trout from Las Cruces, New Mexico. Undefeated, 24-0, 14 KOs in white and zebra stripes. The challenger, Delvin Rodriquez from Danbury, Connecticut, by way of the Dominican Republic, 26-5-3, 14 KOs. Not a lot of action by either fighter, although Trout has started to come on in the last few rounds.
You know, we talk about numbers of punches, and it's important. And, you know, Austin Trout averages 81.2 punches in his last 3 fights. Rodriguez has averaged 72. That's above the junior middleweight average of 58. They're just not doing that tonight. They're not putting their punches together. Trout is doing a better job of Rodriguez than Rodriguez, but neither man has really thrown a lot.
And you knew that Trout will be defensive coming into this fight. That's his style. However, you did not expect for Rodriguez to be as defensive and as tentative as we've seen
and really
through the 9th round.
And it's been up to Austin Trout to attack, and he's been doing that for the last 4 or 5 rounds, but that isn't his normal posture. He'd rather counterpunch a bit.
Watch your feet.
There you see the defensive moves of Austin Trout. Clearly he's a very slick defensive fighter, and you saw him slip 3 punches by Rodriguez. That right hook by Trout, an example of that. It's not his best punch, but he can mix it in occasionally. And I think one of the reasons this fight pales in comparison, the pace set by the first fight with Santa Cruz and Malinga was extraordinary, and it further, I think, demonstrates that this fight has just not been fought at a feverish pitch.
Santa Cruz throwing over 1,000 punches.
Yeah, 1,300 some, and as we mentioned, you know, he was already was 8th on the list of fights that CompuBox has done over its history in the bantamweights, and so that will put him higher on the list. He really was active tonight.
Backhand.
Now there's a left hook, or a left hand to the body again by Trout, and again he's controlling this round and probably winning it.
Austin, good work. I'm going to cut you loose this round, man. Just keep throwing them shots, just like what you're doing, all right? Keep working the body. He does not like the body. Keep throwing that left hand right into his body, okay? You can hit those liver shots and right down his throat like this. Keep working off your jab. Don't get off your jab. Keep working off of it. Feint it, double up on it, okay? That left hand, left hand, mix it up. Overhand, hook, down the...
All right, this is the Home Depot Center here in Carson, California. Normally the tennis courts here, the ring set up in the middle. Terrific weather in Southern California, 64 degrees. It was hot earlier today, Al, but generally the case here in Carson when the sun goes down, it gets cool and perfect for boxing.
Gorgeous night, and this Home Depot Center has become a frequent site of important boxing matches. Never forget when we were here for the Rafael Marquez, Israel Vasquez fight number 3 out here. It was an electric night, and this site is a very good site for boxing.
Don't forget, coming up, our 2 featured fights as Winky Wright, once upon a time, pound for pound, considered one of the best fighters in the world. He fought Bernard Hopkins, Shane Mosley, just to name a few of the legends that he has faced inside the ring. He comes back after a close to 4-year layoff, and he'll fight a young man from Grand Rapids, Michigan, by the name of Kid Chocolate, Peter Quillen. Quillen undefeated, young, strong, and hungry, and stepping up in class. And then our main event, our partner, our main man, Antonio the Magic Man Tarver, the 5-time world champion, will face a Nigerian by the name of Latif Coyote, who also is just as hungry. Said he prayed for the opportunity to fight Antonio Tarver, and when it finally was announced that he would get the opportunity, he's leaving it in God's hands because he knows that this will be his night.
A lot of storylines being acted out in those 2 fights, and obviously in the Coyote fight as well against Tarver.
Winky Wright telling us that he will fight Kid Chocolate just to show all of the network executives at Showtime that he's ready to fight for a title after he beats him, and he wants to go right back at it. Now, a nice combination by Trout.
Nice right hook after early in the round, and a great straight up after early in the round when Rodriguez had forced him back. Now Trout coming to life with some power punches.
Trout also utilizing his jab as well. Trout continuing to use that straight left hand to the solar plexus. Louis Burke telling his 26-year-old fighter to keep that straight left hand aimed and cocked.
And that was good work by Louis Burke in the corner. He wants the jab, the straight left to the body, and he pointed out 2 important things to do. That's what you want to do in the corner.
And the end of the round. Let's go behind the scenes. The Magic Man, our partner Antonio Tarver, who tonight at 43 years old, go back into the ring and fight Latif Coyote. Champ, you ready?
Well, he's pretty relaxed, that's for sure, and he thinks his preparation for this fight has been good. He said, make no mistake, I did not take Latif Coyote lightly. I trained as hard as I would for all the major fights that I've had in recent times. And, of course, we're going to see how well he can do now at age 43. 10 months after beating Danny Green for the IBO title, one of the fringe cruiserweight titles. And no signs of nervousness there, that's for sure.
Very relaxed, so much experience for Antonio Tarver as he faces a man that's 18-0, Latif Coyote. 14 knockouts. 11th round. Scheduled for 12 for the WBA Super Welterweight World Championship. The title holder is Austin Trout in the white and zebra stripe trunks. The challenger, Delvin Rodriquez, in white and blue. And how do you see this fight thus far?
Well, you know, Rodriguez came out in the last round trying to be more aggressive, and Austin Trout backed him up and landed the better power punches. I think Austin Trout has controlled the last 5 or maybe even the last 5 rounds of this fight for sure. And in the early rounds won enough so that I think Austin Trout is probably ahead on the scorecards. The amount,
ooh, nice uppercut by Rodriguez.
Yeah, good punch. And he's going to have to make something happen. I think Trout is ahead by a fair amount in this fight. But again, many of those rounds were close early. Good shots by Rodriguez. Now he's doing what we thought this 32-year-old would do in most of this fight. go out to try and seize a championship.
And Rodriguez has been reluctant to let his hands go. You see, when he does, he finds some success. There's a straight right hand by Rodriguez.
And the number of clinches in this fight have been, I think, almost zero. And that indicates that Rodriguez has never gotten in that big punching range where he could really tee off on Trout.
What's left for Rodriguez if he does not win this fight?
Well, it's going to be difficult. You know, he's had a number of losses. He could always hang his hat on the fact that he was robbed. If he loses tonight, he's not robbed. I mean, so far in this fight, Trout has taken control of a good portion of this fight. Rodriguez has been more aggressive and better here in round 11. And Trout is bending down and giving him an opportunity to land that uppercut, and Rodriguez is doing it. And a little bit unartful in this round by Austin Trout, doing a few things to give Rodriguez better opportunities.
Slapping right hand gets through for Trout. Nice, sharp, crisp right hand by Delvin Rodriguez that momentarily slowed Trout's momentum. There's another right hand as he rolls the left hand. Delvin Rodriguez, maybe his best round thus far in the 11th.
By far.
Let him go, Delvin.
5 seconds to go in the 11th. One more round remaining in the WBA World Championship and in the Latif